Hello and welcome to ADG Plays Crystallis for the NES. This is definitely one of my favorite games on the system, but it also happens to be, it's kind of a weird one. The story in this game is really difficult to follow, and the gameplay, while being kind of like Zelda, is actually really fast-paced and more of an RPG than an adventure. You'll see what I mean as I go along. So let's just start it up here. Now, the story text actually goes by pretty quickly, so I'm not going to be able to read it to you guys either. But to give you the gist of it, sometime, well, what was 1997 to this game was the future, but basically sometime in the future, mankind destroys itself, and the survivors erect a tower in the sky designed to oppress evil forever. But the purpose of the tower is more so to sleep for 100 or so years, and then when it reawakens, determine if mankind is ready to continue to live or if it should be exterminated. Or it's something like that. In any case, you're playing one of the characters who originally was involved with the construction of the tower, who's sort of been stashed away in this sort of technical place. Which is why we've got this sort of technical thing going on here right now. So, just put in my name. By the way, if you don't put in any name, the name you're given is SNK, which is the company that made the thing. So yeah, the first and one of the very few high-tech things you see until the end of the game, really. Because of what happened in the intervening time after the tower was built is that mankind sort of reverts back to the ways before technology, since it was technology that pretty much destroyed everything. Anywho. The guy jumps off of his feet. I don't think they actually used that particular sprite set anywhere else for the jumping off the feet or anything, but I could be wrong. Village of Leaf, dangers outside, good to know. Oh, that's one of the bugs with this game, is that depending on where your sprite is, you can end up talking to people multiple times. Or sometimes you want to do that, because people will actually sometimes have multiple things to say. Not this person, though. So we know the weather's cold now, and what's this guy have to say? Oh, that's the guy who ran from us at the start. We got a hard time with the windmill guard who's always sleeping. Important point. So here's the Elder's house. Woke from inside the cave, told you to arrive, last hope to defeat evil. Receive this sword to protect you on your quest. It's dangerous to go alone, take this! And we now have the Sword of Wind. Oops, that's but yeah, that's the status screen right here. So condition normal, experience level. I know that looks like a weird way to show life, but it's actually supposed to be a slash between there. So 48 out of 48 maximum. Defense power, we'll talk about that in a little, but that person's never seen the windmill working. Oh yeah, let's equip our sword. Because now we have a sword. And a power meter at the bottom. So that we can actually shoot pulses of energy from the sword. So yeah, right off the bat, this game has a lot of Zelda-ness to it. But trust me when I say that changes pretty quickly. Aw, it's a little bunny. I know this seems like a really pointless room with a bunny in it that doesn't say anything, because how could it? But trust me, this is also important. This game sets itself up in such a way that it just feels normal at first, like there's nothing special going on. But everything means something at some point. Oh wait, we don't have any money yet. The person in this house should give us some money. Yay! Give me more? Okay. I'm not gonna bow before you. I have a sword. I'll just stab you. So you actually have an interesting first choice to make. Now, I already know from playing this game multiple times before that in order to progress the story, we need to get the alarm flute. But it costs $50 and we only have 100. So, the other thing to consider is that if we go to the armor shop here, we can get a tanned hide for $100. Or we can get a shield. Now this is actually an important point, and I'm going to demonstrate this right now, because quite frankly we are going to need some experience, so... Let's get some armor. We'll get the alarm flute later. When I equip the hide, well, first of all, you'll notice it actually changes my character sprite, but you'll also notice that I have 3-1 defense points. Yeah, the way defense works in this game is that the first number is your defense against physical contact, and the second number is your defense against projectiles, which is what your shields do. So shields in this game, they basically you have two different kinds of attacks you have to defend against, and two different items you equip to defend against them. It's a lot less confusing than I'm making it sound. Anywho, let's go fight some stuff. Because I need 30 experience points and $50. And yeah, you only charge up power when you're standing still, which can be kind of annoying at first, but yeah, you get used to it. So this cave should have the sleeping guy in it. Oh no, I have to talk to somebody first. There would be a sleeping person up there if I was ready for that. That's another thing too, is that the story, sometimes you think you're progressing it, but you really aren't. Here's the windmill area. We gotta get a key to make this windmill work. So let's head on back and get some more experience. Now there is going to be a bit of grinding in this game, but I'll cut that out when I get to it. Save for this first part, just so you can get an idea of how it goes. And plus we only need 30 experience points, and I'm already a third of the way there. But the amount of experience you need for some of the later levels is pretty high, but at the same time, by the time you get to that point, the enemies are going to be giving you like 300 to 500 experience per kill, so it balances out. Now one thing that's interesting to note too is that it's actually faster to just stab things with your sword, but it's so much more dangerous just because of the way enemies move. And I know I have 48 hit points there, and have a piece of armor that's giving me 3 defense points, but I'm just gonna get hit by something just to give you an idea of... That just took off 6 hit points. So I can only get hit by like that 8 times and I'm dead. So your hit points really don't go as far as you'd like them to in this game. So you gotta be really careful not to touch things if you can help it. Almost there. And we're over half of the way to getting the alarm flute as well. Now, enemies don't respawn immediately, but if you walk far enough away and then come back, they'll be there. I know in some games that might be annoying, but because you have such a huge map to explore, it kind of works out. Right, I think I have to go in here first to get that sleeping person to appear. So I'm the one he's been waiting for. Try to make the windmill work, and if I can do it, I will learn some magic. Oh, and here's another trope of this game. Walls that you have to break through with your swords. That wall is impervious to the sword I have, so I'll have to wait till later. Avoiding enemies is also kind of important because it doesn't take long to get to the point where you start dealing with poison. And poison in this game is a death sentence if you're not prepared for it. So I know in some games poison's just a minor annoyance, but in this game poison is serious. Anywho, that's the level I needed, but I still need one more dollar. I also find it kind of funny that this is like one of the few NES games where the method of... Let's try that again. One of the few RPGs out there for the NES where your monetary unit is dollars. And this is the armor shop. I don't want to go... Nope. Get... I'm pushing random buttons, apparently. Buying an alarm flute. Oh, and here's something really useful to know. Well, aside from the fact that if you look at my stats, I actually gain defense points just from leveling up, and attack power. So, as you level up, you will get naturally stronger. But, here's something useful to know. If you equip an item and you can't use it, when you try to use it, it'll say nothing happens, and you might think that you've accidentally wasted your item, but it's still there. So you can't accidentally use items unless they will have an effect in this game. So that's pretty handy to know. But the other thing is you use items with the B button, which is also your weapon button, so don't equip something unless you intend to actually use it. So I think that sleeping guy should be there now. Yep. So... there we go. Well, I can't do it again because I can't use items unless there's a reason to. Strange ball hidden in the caves that can break rock walls. Interesting. So here's the item here. Now, I know it looks a little confusing that you've got 3 rows of items here. This is the magic row, we'll get to that later, but it's actually portioned out in an interesting way. Because you can only... this row here is for items that you purchase. So you can only have 8 purchasable items at a time. This row here is for items that you can use, but that you don't typically lose. So they're items that can be used over and over and over again that you find through regular gameplay. And then this row is for key items that are used for, like, solving problems and whatnot. Sort of. It's kind of a mess, but you get used to it. Oh, right, and that's how you actually save the game is... you go to your items screen, and then you hit the start button. And that'll let you save your game. And you can even load mid-game too, so be careful not to do that accidentally. And no, I can't save right now. Because you can only save when you're outside, or I think you can save in towns as well. Anywho, let's start the windmill. And that opened the door over there. So as much as I'd like to get that little piece of missing health back, I actually don't have to worry, because as soon as we get up here, whenever the message box flickers like that, you're actually being contacted by telepathy. Because all the magic-using characters that you meet in this game are capable of telepathy. So basically, I now have the refresh spell. So if I go to here, I can arm it, and now my A button will actually heal hit points. Uses a crap ton of magic though, so like, I mean, I'm gonna keep it armed just in case, but just be aware that I could run through my magic really quickly if I'm not careful with that. Forget if it's these things or something else later in that can poison me. And this is actually a neat feature too. I'm walking under the bridge right now, but if I go through here, I'm now walking over the bridge. It's the same bridge. It's just a little trickery. That's why they have to have the staircase there in any case, because it's basically like two different sections, but just with a different mapping for the bridge, really. Ow. I need to pay more attention, because getting poisoned would be a really bad idea. Oh, there's one of those rock walls that I can't break through yet. Okay, I think it's these things that can poison me. And I think I actually have to go down first. It's actually been a while since I played through this. Yay, I got the coin. Medical herb. So that'll heal me if I use it. There we go. So now, the ball of wind. I now have 2 charge points on my meter, and can make much stronger attacks. And here's what's interesting. First level attack doesn't pass through walls. Second level attack does. So every second level attack for every weapon has a sort of special ability to it that the other weapons don't have. Whereas the first level shot is always something really simple. Yeah, bats attacking me. So here's an example of, you could fight this thing just, yeah, laying in with rapid strikes is much faster against things like this. Otherwise, I'd be charging up like that many shots. Ow. They have a really powerful attack, though. Yeah. Let's break through the wall. Antidote. That'll be handy in case I get poisoned. But we are going to do everything possible to avoid poison. Because you do not want to get poisoned in this game. Level up is good. And it's a dead end. Yes, almost ran into him. Oh boy. And yeah, if you power up your attacks, it does act. Well, actually, hang on a second. Is this Oh no, this is just trying to think where I need to go. Warp boots. So I actually got a few things going here. This medical herb will heal me, antidote will remove poison, and warp boots can be used absolutely anywhere to warp you to any town that you've previously visited. Pretty handy thing to have on hand. Like, I mean, there's a spell you'll get later on that can do the same effect, but if you accidentally run out of magic from casting Refresh too much, it's always a good idea to have some warp boots on hand. Right through the wall. Actually, I think you can even use the warp boots in boss battles. Don't quote me on that, I've never tried it, but I think it's possible. The game doesn't really do a lot to restrict you. And the reason why that came to mind is because we actually got a boss fight coming up, like, in, like, 2 seconds. Ow. There we go. That was tricky, because at the end he kept getting faster and faster. Rabbit boots. Now you might be thinking, rabbit boots? Seriously? You're in an overhead game. Well, what are you gonna do, like jump over things or jump all around and... Yeah, there's actually platforming in this game. Be afraid. I'm gonna turn that off for the moment. Okay. When you come out of that cave, you want to go straight south and to the west here to get to this village. Because chances are you're not going to have much health left. Akahana used to have an unusual statue, dropped it near the river. Great find, difficult to replace. Have you seen it? Not yet, but we will. I love how he says pretty noisy, isn't it? But all you hear is the music. Well, maybe he's calling the music noisy? I don't know. Go east, you'll find the forest. Giant maze where plants shoot poison. Village vocalized deep in the forest. People there don't understand our language. Good to know. Heard that there's a village where only women live. I wonder. Yes, I wonder how you could have only just heard of it when it's literally a quick jog to the south. Granted, it's across a river, but still. 2 routes to Mount Saber, one west and north, both roads very dangerous. This is always an interesting one. You come into here, you talk to this guy, he's like, I just found how to get rich quick. Later. And walks off. Yeah. Oh, right, I still have the, refresh. This particular point right here, I don't think this is ever elaborated on in this game. But, yeah. Wise man Turnell lives with his pupils. Let's have some refreshments, typical bar stuff. This place right here actually is a pawn shop. So you can actually sell things that you don't want anymore when you come to this place. Which I find interesting. It's one of the few games out there where there's actually a separate store specifically for selling things, as opposed to just being able to sell at, you know, regular stores. Now this is another interesting point. This carapace shield was $80 in the previous town, and it's $70 here. The prices of goods do not stay the same between villages. And part of the reason this is important has to do with the items. They are actually, I think that's like $5 more expensive than they're supposed to be. And they'll get even more expensive as you go further in. And what's really weird about that is that, well, once you have like warp spells and everything, it's like, what is even the point of making it more expensive? Oh. Let's just get myself healed up. And save, just in case. Okay. And now I get to grind a bunch. Oh. I'll tell you what, let's go find that statue first, because that's not a hard thing to do. And yeah, poisonous swamps. If you walk in that stuff, you'll take damage. Because yeah, there's the statue right there. Oh, right. So let's go bring the statue back. Get a few experience points along the way. Okay. Put the statue on. Yes. He just gave me a gas mask of all things. Yeah. But yeah, you need the gas mask for the forest, because the forest is literally just filled with poisonous air. It won't actually, like, poison you, but it will do constant damage if you don't have the gas mask equipped. I mean, might as well just equip it now, because we're not going to be needing the rabbit boots anytime soon, but... Okay, so now that we've done that, now I have to grind a whole bunch. Because I really want to be at least level 4 before I do this. So, back in a little. Let me grind this out off camera.